The story of the biggest car manufacturer in the world is one that will inspire you to push forward no matter how difficult things are. This is the Toyota story. In the early 1900s, Japan was an industrial backwater. Many Japanese people were ashamed of their country's lack of technology and progress, but some saw this as a challenge, a chance to show the world what Japan could do. One of these people was a young man named Eiji Toyoda. Eiji grew up hearing stories of his father's adventures in America, where he had seen firsthand the power of Western technology. Determined to make his country stronger, Eiji studied mechanical engineering in college. He was particularly interested in the newly invented automobile. To him, it was the ultimate symbol of modern technology. After graduation, Eiji got a job at a local textile factory. It was not what he wanted, but it was a start. He worked hard and eventually became the youngest manager in the company's history. But Eiji knew that working for someone else was not going to allow him to make the kind of impact he wanted to make. So he quit his job and started his own company, the Toyota Industries Corporation. The company's first product was a loom that could automatically weave patterns into fabric. It was a huge success, and the company quickly grew. But Eiji was not content with just making textiles. He wanted to build cars. In 1937, Toyota Industries began producing its first prototype cars. The company's success in the auto industry was even greater than it had been in textiles. Before long, Toyota was one of Japan's leading automakers, but the Japanese economy was about to be devastated by World War II. Toyota was one of the few companies that was allowed to continue manufacturing cars during the war. And when the war was over, the company found itself in a unique position. All of Japan's other automakers had been completely wiped out. Toyota was now by far the largest car manufacturer in the country. However, despite their success, Toyota was still a relatively small company by international standards. In order to compete with the likes of Ford and General Motors, Toyota knew that they needed to expand overseas. Unfortunately, the Japanese government was extremely protective of its domestic industries and was very reluctant to let Toyota export its cars. Eventually, the government relented, and in 1957, Toyota began exporting to the United States. It was not easy. Japanese cars were seen as cheap imitations of American cars, and buyers were extremely hesitant to purchase them. But Toyota persevered, and eventually their quality and reliability began to win over American customers. By the 1970s, Toyota had become one of the most successful foreign automakers in the U.S. But the company's success did not come without growing pains. As Toyota grew larger and larger, it became more and more difficult to keep up its focus on quality. The company began to suffer from internal problems such as bureaucracy and a lack of communication. These problems came to a head in 1985 when Toyota was forced to recall 270,000 cars due to a faulty accelerator pedal. In response to the recall, Toyota's president at the time, Eiji Toyoda, stepped down and a new president, Shoichiro Toyoda, was elected. Shoichiro was a no-nonsense kind of guy who was not afraid to make tough decisions. He immediately set about fixing the problems at Toyota. One of the first things he did was to implement a new production system called the Toyota Production System, or TPS. The TPS revolutionized the way cars were built and became the foundation for Toyota's future success. The system was based on two principles: just-in-time production and Kaizen, which means continuous improvement. Just-in-time production is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of keeping a large inventory of parts and products, Toyota would only produce what was needed when it was needed. This reduced waste and increased efficiency. Kaizen, on the other hand, is a bit more complicated. It basically means that Toyota would constantly strive to improve its products and processes. This would involve making small changes every day, no matter how insignificant they may seem. Over time, these small changes would add up to big results. Shoichiro also implemented a number of other reforms to improve Toyota's quality control and customer service. For example, he introduced a customer feedback system that allowed the company to respond to customer complaints more quickly. He also created a new training program for Toyota employees that emphasized the importance of quality and customer service. These reforms were extremely successful. Toyota's quality problems were soon forgotten, and the company's profits soared. But Shoichiro knew that he could not rest on his laurels. He knew that in order to maintain Toyota's success, he needed to continue innovating and improving. So he began to focus on developing new technologies that would help Toyota stay ahead of the competition. One of the most important innovations that Shichiro focused on was the development of the hybrid car. He knew that the world was becoming more environmentally friendly, and he wanted Toyota to be at the forefront of this change. In 1997, Toyota released the first mass-produced hybrid car, the Prius. The Prius was an instant success, and it quickly became the best-selling hybrid car in the world. Thanks to Shigeru's focus on innovation, Toyota has continued to thrive. Today, it is the largest car manufacturer in the world, and it is one of the most valuable brands in the world. Toyota's rise to the top can be attributed to a number of factors. One of the most important factors is the company's commitment to quality. From the days of Shoichiro Toyota, Toyota has been committed to producing high-quality cars that meet the needs of its customers. This commitment to quality has allowed Toyota to build a strong reputation with its customers, which has led to customer loyalty and word-of-mouth advertising. Another factor that has contributed to Toyota's success is the company's focus on innovation. From the introduction of the Prius to the development of the Toyota production system, Toyota has been at the forefront of the automotive industry. The company's commitment to innovation has allowed it to stay ahead of the competition and to meet the changing needs of its customers. A third factor that has contributed to Toyota's success is the company's global perspective. From the days of Eiji Toyota, Toyota has had a global perspective. The company's commitment to understanding and meeting the needs of customers all over the world has allowed it to become the largest car manufacturer in the world. If you want to succeed in business, then you must learn from the example of Toyota. You must be committed to quality, innovation, and meeting the needs of your customers. If you can do these things, then you will be on the path to success. Thank you for watching. Now check out this video next. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another interesting video.